nobody's joining. Live chat, alright. We're just going to wait maybe 2 more minutes and then we're going to start the tutorial.
Philipp, alles gut? Bei mir ist alles gut, aber mal. Ist klar?
Alright.
Jo, Freunde.
Alright, so then we're just going to start the tutorial. I think that's the best way. And yeah, alright. Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to do. Okay. Share screen. Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to do very nice 3D reels inside of the DaVinci Resolve. It's going to be very clean, very cool style. I saw it on MoVisual's Instagram account, so I just wanted to show you how to actually do that inside of DaVinci Resolve. I'm just going to share my screen real quick so that you know what I'm talking about. I talk about this animation, maybe you've seen it before. And yeah, I'm going to talk about the different components, what's very important for this editing style, and give you an exact breakdown on how to actually do this. Alright, so first of all, we're going to go into the Fusion tab because it's actually very simple. And if you've seen the previous tutorials, you will probably see that a lot of components that we did in the last tutorials are coming back now. This is because this is no science or something. If you understand the basics, you can basically recreate anything. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you have understood and the foundation of DaVinci Resolve, there's like no limits. Sky is the limit. All right. So first of all, we did the basic thing that I've already shown you in the past tutorials. If you weren't there, I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown of what I did here, because we are working inside of a 3D space inside of DaVinci Resolve to have this very nice camera movement and this background which is zooming in. To be honest, I could have done this inside of a 2D animation, but I think for this I just prefer to work on 3D space because then you can make different adjustments. Now I could also move them for the money a little bit forward and this backwards when it zooms in to create a parallax effect or something. So there's just much more things you are able to do if you work in 3D space. Alright, so but how are we actually working in 3D space and what do you need to do? In DaVinci Resolve, the normal nodes are all have all 2D information, and you can't just plug them in into a 3D node with a 3D camera. That's not how it works. You need to convert those 2D nodes into a 3D node, and then plug this 3D node into a renderer 3D, which renders it out then back again to your 2D video. Alright, so the basic for that is you just need a renderer 3D. This is the most important part, otherwise you won't be able to see anything. Then you need a merge 3D, because you will probably link multiple image planes to your merge 3D. Your image plane is basically just showing your 2D information in 3D space. So as you can see, this is 2D information. It's like very flat, but it's in 3D space. And then you obviously need a camera 3D as well to make like camera movements, camera adjustments, and with this transform 3D you are able to move this camera around. So yeah, and obviously with the merge 3D you are merging everything together so that every of your 3D nodes are going into a render 3D. Then the render 3D stuff the 3D stuff gets rendered out into your media out. Alright, so just to give you a quick refresh of that. The next thing we're going to do is actually we're going to start by creating those red backgrounds with this paper rip, and it's very simple, very basic. First thing, oh, I'm very sorry. First thing I did was basically just adding a background 2, and I plugged it into the image plane 3D one. This is just because you always need, if you want to create those little oh, I'm stuck right now. Am I stupid? Those sub node trees, so not your main node tree, but like a sub node tree. You always need a media in, and the media in is in this case this background 2, which is going into the image plane 3D. And in this node tree, you can now add several other nodes and create those sub node trees. All right. And by the way, I set it the background from the alpha. So if you go to background, click on background, then you go into the inspector, and then you just gotta check this little mark, go to alpha, set it to 0, so that it is a see-through layer and that it's just existing there, so you can place other stuff on top of it. Alright, so next thing I did was then clicking on the background, then I hit Control Shift and typed in background, hit enter, and if you do this, this will get instantly get connected to your main composition. Then I went ahead and set it the background color to this dark red. I think it looks very cool. And the next thing then, or from there on, was to cut it out. So as you can see, I just went ahead, yeah, from this perspective, and cut it straight through it. So I just took a polygon node, a polygon mask, and masked the part out that I wanted to mask out. So in this case, it was looking like this. Polygon nodes are very nice if you just want to make a specific or a very specific mask. Like in this case, I mean, you could have done this as well with like a very big rectangle, but most of the time it's just easier to draw these lines really quick. And yeah, so next thing I did was adding a little drop shadow, because as you can see, if I can disable it real quick, it just gives a lot more depth, and this is what you always want in your 2D stuff or in your 2D videos. If you can add more depth, it will look way more realistic, so that's what we are always aiming for. Oh, and another note is hiding behind it, which is actually very important. You can just deactivate them real quick, because if I wouldn't have added this paper rips, it would look like this, and this is very ugly in my opinion, or it doesn't look as good as with the paper rips. So I just found them in the I just found them in the internet and then edit them. I mean, I have zero sponsorship or anything, but I use Envato Elements because it has literally everything you need. And then I just edit them on top of those lines to give it this cool paper rip effect. And then this was already done. Next thing I did there was then, of course, animation. So I went ahead 57 frames. Then I set it a keyframe to the point where I wanted the endpoint to be. I went to the beginning. Yeah, I'm going to show you the curves, Tom. No problem. 1 second, please. Um, so then I started in the beginning and set it to the start point where I wanted the animation to start. And then I went into the spline node. So now you can see what I did here. In the spline tool, then you can just take this merge and drag it in, and you can see the actual curve. And in this case, it looks like this. I think it would look even more smooth. I did it really fast before this course, so I'm I wasn't like doing those details, but like this would look optimal, so that you have a lot of space in the like space in the end where it can smooth out and get like really slow. I'm going to pre-render it real quick so that you know what I mean. Because if it's like drastically stopping, then it looks very unnatural, and like this, it's like very smooth. All right, Aladdin is joining. Hello. So yeah, always make sure to drag out your curves like a lot, because most of the time the people are just doing it like this or like this, but you need to drag them out a lot in order to make your animations very smooth. And then I did basically the exact same with the other merge or with the other background. So yeah, that was basically it. Next thing I was doing was actually adding this little dollar bill behind it. So I just went to no, I just went to the internet and made a screenshot or downloaded it. Yeah, it was this asset. Then I went and plugged it into my image plane 3D. I was then going to uh, I was then adding a vignette. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, okay. It makes a difference to give it again a little bit of depth and make it look cooler with the shadows and everything. Um, and then what I did there for the animation was making it go a little bit bigger and to come or to move on the Z-axis to like go to the camera. I think this is like a really cool effect. And then of course again, I tried to, oh my god, I tried to make it very smooth. So I just dragged the handles out a lot, and then this was basically the result of it. Next thing I was doing then was just adding this text and those little things in the background. And right now you're maybe starting to realize that I'm just doing the same steps over and over again, just with different assets and combining them in a different way. And this is basically just every video. So um, if you have this creative idea and you understand the basics, you can do everything you want. So it's really not that deep. All right. So next thing was adding this text. So I was just adding an image plane 3D again, and I was connecting it to my Merge 3D. I set it up my timeline with this background and the alpha to 0, and then I just went ahead, added the text node. So I clicked on the background, hit Shift spacebar, text plus, hit add. It instantly got connected to my timeline, and then I typed in my text. So in this case, it was $1 million. I used the font Helvetica compressed. So now, uh, really quick cheat code, because I didn't know what font that was because I had this inspiration video from Mohi Visuals. I just I just went ahead, took a screenshot, edited it in here, and it gave me like ideas on which font it could be. And I think it was pretty accurate. Not perfect, but still it got the job done. Yeah, so if you don't know the font, you can go to something like Font Finder, but this has a monthly fee, I think. And yeah, I mean, AI ChatGPT is so good, especially if you have the premium version, so you can just do that as well. All right, next thing I was doing was going to transform, and then I clicked on this drop-down menu on size, because as you can see, normally the font looks like this. We wanted to have it stretched out a little bit, so I just drag the slider up so that it gets a little bit bigger, and then it basically looked like this. Next thing I was doing here was animating it. So I just clicked on the text again, head to the inspector, back to text, and then you can go down here to write on. And then in the beginning of the animation, you can click on this diamond icon, set this bar to 0, And then I went a couple frames forward, set it to 1, and then this typewriter effect is actually happening. And this looks, by the way, way better if you were edit here like typewriter sound. This would have made this shot like a lot cooler. Alright, next thing I was doing then was adding this little tiny text, not because this has like any message to it. It's just because it looks cool and no one is reading this text, but it gives you a better feeling because if I'm just deleting it, it looks a little bit empty, but like this, it looks complete. For projects where you're, for example, seem to move from left to right, do you animate the object to move and leave the camera in place, or do you animate the camera? I'm really depends on the project and what you're doing, but usually you move the camera because because it's way simpler. If you have to move multiple objects at the same time, it's just very annoying. But if you can move the camera, it's just way simpler to just move the camera around than, for example, this whole node tree. It's also much easier to render for your PC. But it really depends on what you want to do. So always depends on the situation. Alright, so the next thing I did then was animate this little text. And as you can see, it just has this little pop-up animation. Very small, very, very smooth again. With very, very little motion in the end. But this is how it got this like very, very smooth, very, very, very smooth feeling to it, which I really like. So I went just 47 frames forward, hit the spline tool, set it on the center X and Y X, where I wanted the animation to end, then went to the beginning, changed the Y X to the start from the video, or to the part or to the point where I wanted the animation to start. And then a couple frames forward, I just, oh wait, 1 second, I'm just going to hit it here, bring it back. Oh no, I did it on text. No, I did it on this. No, I did it on this. Alright. And then I dragged the line out again a lot. And then I as well went into the merge node and set a keyframe on the blend in and out to give it a smoother feeling to it. And then we are almost done. The only last part, which is now which we need to finish off this animation, are those little money are those dollar bills. I think this is what is spicing this animation up really in the end, because as you can see, I'm just going to make them disappear. It gives the animation a lot of depth, and depth, like I said, depth is very important for your animations. So what I did here was then basically just adding those dollar bills. So I went ahead and actually I just found pictures of, I'm just going to plug it in. Oh, this is very high res, so it's very big, but I just found pictures like this. This is a secret again now, because sometimes it's very annoying to go into Photoshop and do all of the work by yourself. But what you actually can do is just go to Removal AI, and then sounds a little bit sus if I'm thinking about it, but you just go to Removal AI and then you upload your image. So in this case it was this dollar bill with the white background, and it will automatically make a really, really good cutout of your image, so you don't gotta do everything by yourself, and you can just continue to edit till the cutout is done. So very, very easy, very, very nice. So I then took the PNG that got created from it, plugged it into my background node, which is connected to the image plane, which is connected to the Merge 3D. Then I went ahead with the color corrector, because this is like very bright and it doesn't really fit the mood of the video. So I added a color corrector. So I clicked on the media in4, shift spacebar, color corrector, CC. And I just dragged down the gain a little bit, to fit the mood of the video, to fit the brightness of the video, and to not make them too. You want to focus on the guy behind here and on the 1 million or 1,000 euros or dollars, and not on the dollar bills. So that's why I didn't want them to be so bright. This is also something you really got to watch out. The focus is really important. Alright, so one other question, I'm just going to answer that real quick. What types of transitions do you do when you move from one animation Fusion composition to the next composition. Is it zooms, glow, or just simply dissolves? So again, this really depends on the stuff you try to do. Um, because there's so much things that you can do to make a clean transition. Um, if you want to be like really, really special, you can always take your animation and then try to make a transition out of it. So what I could imagine in this case is because this closes and then closed up and then this is here. What I could imagine now is that it closes up again and then behind that is the original clip where you're talking or something like this. So you always got to be creative. What I like to do if I don't have so much time is just create a zoom in, like, but very, very smooth. And at the fastest point, I'm cutting the clip, then make a zoom in on the other clip, and then I'm going to make a glow with the camera shutter sound, because this is like a very easy way to make it smooth. But I'm just going to pop up from a client real quick here. So this was with After Effects, but doesn't matter because here right now here you can see I just took the clip and transitioned it into my animation, and this is what I think everybody should do. And here this is what I mean the with the camera shutter, just boom, and then make a little zoom here as well, and I think this is actually doing the job very great. So yeah, but there are several ways, like 100 ways to do it, and I would always like if you want to do like high level stuff and you have enough time, then always try to implement your animation into the transition. Yeah. So then after finishing the color correction on the color corrector, I just created the transform node and animated it from the in and the out point, and then I went there to the spline, to transform, did like this really, really, really huge curve. And then this basically was it. And this is how I created this type of animation. Now what you can do to spice it up is a couple of things. So the first thing I did here to get the focus again, you always try to play with the focus from the viewer more into the middle. So the first thing I did here was adding an adjustment clip, and I went into Fusion, hoppala, and then I just added a Gaussian blur. So I click on media in, Gaussian blur, then it automatically gets connected to your timeline, and then I just took an ellipse mask, masked a part out, feathered it a lot to make this like a little bit out of focus, so the focus is more in the middle of the video. And then the next thing I did here was a couple of things. So first of all, I did a vignette effect so that the focus again is going into the middle, and I think this looks already really, really cool. But the next thing is also like something really, really nice, which is halation, and it gives you this little red effect around your text, and it lights up the bright parts a little bit more of your video, and now the middle part is standing out even more, and it looks a little bit more natural with the colors and not so flat. Then I added scan lines, so without scan line installation and look damage, it looks like this. And then I added scan lines just really, really on a high frequency and with a lower global blend, so almost zero, because this looks very ass, but like very, very low blend. With a halation, and then with the analog damage, but analog damage set to 1990s, to give this like this really cool blur kind of smooth effect. And yeah, this basically was it already. This was how I created this animation. I hope you liked it, and I hope you took a lot of information out of this. For all of the people who are in the live call right now, I don't know how much are really here because I just made a really, really quick story. You can ask questions now. This tutorial will be over now and will be uploaded to the school, so you can just rewatch it. You're probably watching this right now as a tutorial, so yeah, I hope you liked it. I could learn something from it, and then see you in the next tutorial. Yeah, perfect.
Okay,
All right.
thanks, Nick.
I think today I was like very late with the announcement thing. So when I talked to Lenny last time, he said as well, I'm just going to make a couple of tutorials and then we're going to make like cooler live codes in the future, which are a little bit more entertaining. But yeah. Are you a
Yeah.
mentor to the school group, Nick? Yeah, so I'm just basically the mentor for DaVinci Resolve and Fusion animations.
Well,
So yeah,
technically, this is right now mentorship.
yeah, this is actually the best way of mentorship right now. But yeah, so I'm having a little breakdown course of the foundation. So if you don't have like zero idea, I can just show it up real quick. Here you can learn um, the basics of DaVinci Resolve, very easy. And then we have a color grading section as well for DaVinci Resolve. But we have this live calls and we have the school as well where you can ask any questions. So um, I think this is even more value. Um, yeah, so feel free if you want to join, you can join. If not, then we have these live calls for you. Yeah, do you have any questions, guys, or do you need anything? Just maybe give me a quick update. If not, I'm going to finish this call. So yeah. Oh, maybe this is not a good idea.
Lot is asking, where do you get these assets like the dollars?
Yeah, so I have Envato Elements subscriptions. If you really try to do this stuff on professional level, I can recommend it to you. If you buy yearly, what I did, not on purpose, but what I did, I actually wanted to make a monthly fee, but I accidentally bought the yearly thing. You
So you
pay
got
like,
stuck with it.
yeah. So now I'm stuck with it. Um, so I paid 276 euros.
Ouch.
Yeah, but I mean everything is in here, so it's actually really nice. If you need
I hope it was
anything,
worth it.
yeah, but I think it really was because I already got like really nice assets from it, as well like this paper rip, for example. And then I just this is German, so but I would just go to graphics. So here you have those paper rips, which you can then add. And the cool thing is you're always getting those texture packs. So you're not just getting one texture and you just gotta find everything, but you get a lot of textures and
Hmm.
stuff, which is or like this. Like a lot of stuff is looking really cool. I think it's worth the price. I have music as well now. I have stock videos. And I think it even has an AI now. Yeah, AI Labs, so you can just generate videos, pictures. Uh, yeah, so a lot of cool stuff.
Nice. What's the name of that website?
It's Envato Elements.
Maybe you can share
Envato
the link
Elements.
for the guys here.
Yeah, sure. Have you tried the new ChatGPT image creator and what do you think about it in the context of replacing websites with, like Envato? So I really like the new image creator. I mean, we can try it out. I have ChatGPT Premium. Um, we can just find the PNG and try to recreate it. Maybe I'm just going to share my screen. I'm going to maybe not show what's in the search screen. Let's go to add another window. All right. We can just see if ChatGPT is going to replace it. So, can you recreate the picture exactly in this style? No background. No background. Can you create a flying dollar bill exactly in the style? No background. Let's see what ChatGPT is doing for us. But I think it will work. New ChatGPT is very good. But I don't think that it's going to replace Envato in the next of couple of maybe years if it has enough power to do. What's going on here, right? Maybe if it has like enough power to do like multiple things at once. But like I showed you with Envato, the good thing is that right now it takes a lot of time to this is generated. This is because they don't have enough power to calculate it so fast, and it just takes a lot of time for if I need to recreate or create something like this for every asset that I'm looking for.
It's gonna take forever.
Yeah, but this works. So you can see I'm creating a dollar bill right now. It doesn't have the exact lighting, but I think it will work. Oh my god, I like so much that text is actually accurate on this new ChatGPT thing. But I don't know if you're able to use it commercially because we don't really know where all of the information is coming, and it's not like if you work for big brands, this could be a problem, but actually, if you just look, oh my god, I can even create PNGs. I didn't know that. This is like really cool. This is really dope. All right, so yeah, now we have just a PNG of this picture. This is actually really nice. I didn't, but the picture of this guy is not the same, but you can just replace it now prompted. So it has good. It is a good tool to use. You need the premium thing from it as well. But yeah, I think it's a really nice addition, and everybody should work with ChatGPT and this stuff and tries to implement it into your workflow because you don't know how fast AI is going to replace like editing, motion graphics, and all of the other stuff. So you just try to stay up to date, so that so that you're not running into the danger zone of getting left behind. Thanks for the answer. Yeah, you're welcome. If you have if you have any questions left, just let me know. Otherwise, I would finish this call right now. Yeah, just give me a quick answer, maybe.
Jonas said he still have one on top. Can you write it again, please? And Lot is asking, do you think After Effects is something a video editor should master?
Not a video editor or motion graphics designer should be able to use After Effects, and just because it's like industry standard, everybody's using it. And if you have like a big project with like big brands, they for example want your project files, and your DaVinci Resolve files aren't 100% can't be used in After Effects compositions, and it's just the industry standard for motion graphics to use After Effects. So if you want to be like a motion graphics designer, you should learn After Effects probably. But if you want to be a video editor, you don't need to learn After Effects, because as you can see, you can do all of the cool stuff in DaVinci Resolve as well. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Would you say every animation After Effects is also possible in DaVinci Resolve? Do you have any tips for a good workflow to complete animations faster? Alright, so I'm just thinking about it right now. I think that After Effects is making it easier to do some of the animations, especially now where they got like a very cool 3D system built inside of After Effects as well. But I think in general, and I think there are more built-in effects and more things you can add with plugins inside of After Effects, and you have also more tutorials. But if you really try to recreate an effect, I think you can do the exact same in DaVinci Resolve like 98% of the time, especially with like those basic motion graphics, so this would be no problem. Yeah, next thing is do you have any tips for a good workflow to complete animations faster? So there's a couple of things. First thing is this is a trap a lot of people fall into, myself included, and this is just re-watching your videos 1 million times. So it's just looking in your animations, thinking, oh, it looks so dope, maybe I can do this a little bit and here a little bit, and then you just get lost in details. That's something I would not do. What I do normally is setting up my scene and then animate it. So you're first trying, like with those animations. Okay, so animations have a different workflow than working with, for example, like a big YouTube video. If I would have a big YouTube video, I would first make the raw cut, then I would go and add the color grading, then I would add the text and the other sound design, and then, wait 1 second, can I? Alright, so, and then the next thing I would do is going to do like the motion graphics, animations, and then the sound design. With animations, I would always try to first have a sketch on a really good idea on what you actually try to make, because then you will be a lot faster, especially when you have like a bigger project with multiple animations. You really try to, or you should really try to have a rough idea on what you try to do before you're going to do it, since most of the time people don't really have the consistency in the animations. So one of them looks in like this style, the other one looks like this style, and what really makes a video stand out is having like the exact same style in every animation. So have a big overview, know what you're doing, then you should always think about, alright, which colors and everything should I use for most of the part of my animation, and what kind of shapes, for example, you want to do. So in this case, I have like those straight lines, then I have this text, I have this reddish colors, I have this old school style of this old school but simple style, and then I would try to build up every other animation from it, and then if I would start with the animation, I would break the animation down first for myself. So for example, in this case, I just thought, alright, what do I need first? First thing I needed was this background, then I just added the ripples, then I added this background, and then those three things. Then what I was not doing was then just looking back at it like a million times, because you're always getting in love with your animations, which is really good if you try to stand out, but you gotta try to be quick, because otherwise you will probably waste your time on unnecessary stuff. But one thing where I wouldn't waste time is, if you finish the animation, just take 10 more minutes and try to make it extra cool. So in this case, it was going from this, which already looked cool, but this is giving it this like extra look. Like this is giving it the amazing vibe, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is the stuff I would do. And of course, workflows are also like going to be different for different projects. Yeah. Alright, guys. Is that everything? Thanks for the valuable input. Alright, perfect. Easy. Alright, guys, then I would say thank you for joining the call today. I hope you learned something. I hope you got a broad, or I hope that you really got some information. And then see you in the next call, next Thursday, exact same time. In this live call, Aladdin, thank you for joining as well. And then I would say, have a very nice day, guys. Goodbye. Alright, perfect. Very, very nice. Oh my god, I'm so tired.